Now let's see on how we can be able to solve for the equations with unknown variables as the exponents. In other words, we should have to see on how we can be able to solve the exponential equations. And I just have to ensure that before you go for this lesson, you have gone through the laws of indices, and as it has to be used, as they are to be used in this video. So just have to ensure that you have gone through that video we discussed about the laws of indices. Thank you. So now let's say we have the equation with, let's say, 3 to the power x, and let's say is equal to 27. So what can be the value of x if this is the case? So now there is no any other possible way we can have to express 3 to have the lowest base other than 3 itself. But we can be able to express 27 to have the lowest base other than 27 itself. And that is, we'll have 3 to the power x, which is equal to 3 to the power 3. So now according to the laws of indices, in this case, since the bases are the same, then the powers are also the same as well. So have x is equal to 3. So this is the solution. And how about if we have, let's say, in this case, and think about this. Let's say we have it as, and there should be 3 to the power x, and that say minus 2, and that is equal to, and that should be the square root of 3. So how should you go about this? So now there's no possible we can have to express 3 to have the base other than itself, and using the laws of indices we can be able to interpret what is happening there. So in this case we have 3 to the power x minus 2, and which is equal to 3 to the power half, because according to the laws of indices this is how it has to be. Then since the bases are the same, then we just have to equate the powers. So have x minus 2 and is equal to half. So proceed it at your own. And how about, let's say we have also another case, and that goes like this. Let's say we have 8 to the power x plus 1, and is equal to, and there should be 32 times the square root of 2. So now how should we be able to have this one out and also this one out? So what is the lowest base 8 can be expressed to, and what is the lowest base 32 can also be expressed to? Now the lowest bases are that of 2, so which means we can be able to have 2 to the power 3 corresponds to 8, and in that case it means we'll have x plus 1 in that way, and which is equal to 32 is given as 2 to the power 5, and that times the square root of 2, which is the same as 2 to the power 2. Using the laws of indices, the bases are the same, so which means we'll have 2 to the power 3x, and plus 3, that is equal to 2 to the power 5, and plus half. Now the bases are the same, you know what is to be done there. So just have to equate the powers, then you'll be able to solve for x. So have it out at your own. And how about, let's say we have, in this case, let's say we have 2 to the power t, which is equal to, let's say 1 over 4. Now how should you be able to have this one out? There's no any possible way you can have to express 2 to have the lowest base other than itself, so which means we'll have it as it stands there. But we can be able to do something with 1 over 4. Using the laws of indices, this is the same as 4 to the power negative 1. And as true, we can be able to have 4 to have the power, to have the base, lowest base other than 4 itself. So which means we'll have 2 to the power 2, should be 2 to the power t, which is equal to, and the 4 can be expressed as 2 to the power 2 in the terms negative 1. And of which you'll have it as 2 to the power t, which is equal to 2 to the power negative 2. So the bases are the same, you just have to equate the bars and have the value of t, as you can see there. So keep that in mind. So now, how about if, let's say, we have a case like this. Let's say we have 3x in the times 10 to the power, let's say, x, in the plus 10x in the which is equal to 0. So now, how should we be able to solve for this equation? So now we have the common factor, which is 10 to the power x. So just have to factor it out. We'll have 10 to the power x times now have 3x and plus 1, which is equal to 0. So in this case, we have two factors that corresponds to 0. We have 10 to the power x is equal to 0. We're going to be able to solve for x here. It is undefined. Then we can have another factor that is so this is undefined, so should be undefined. And then we have 3x and the minus 1, which is equal to 0, should be plus here. Then we have 3x and which is equal to negative 1. Then we have x being given as the negative 1 divided by 3. So this is the solution of the problem. How about, let's say, if we can have this, and let's say we have, it should be, let's say we have 4x squared and that times 2 to the power x and the minus, let's say 9 to the power x, let's say, is equal to 0. So now how best should we be able to solve for this? We use the same principle. So what is the common factor? We have it as 2 to the power x, and which is the same as, we should have 4x squared and the minus 9 and which is equal to 0. So we have 2 to the power x and being equal to 0. This is undefined. We don't be able to solve for that. And likewise, so this is undefined. Now we should have 4x squared minus 9, which is equal to 0. Now all these should be perfect squares. You can be able to factorize that one using the difference of two squares. So in this case, this is the same as 2 to the power 2 x to the power 2 and 3 to the power 2 is equal to 0. Hence, this is the best way to factorize that one using the different two squares. So which means we'll have 2x minus 3 and that times 2x and that plus 3. In case you are not much about how to factorize the different of two squares, so just have to go through my video list. You come across with a lesson we discussed about how to factorize the different of two squares. So you come across all these things. It should be factorization techniques. So you come across all these actual things. So in this case, we have 2x minus 3, which is equal to 0. And in this case, we have x is equal to 3 of 2. Then we have x plus 3, should be 2x plus 3 is equal to 0. We have x is equal to negative 3 over 2. Now these are the solutions you should have to get that an up to. So now at your own time, try to go through this. Let's say we have 3 and 3 to the power x and the minus should be 5x and that should be 3 to the power x, and that is a plus 2x squared and times 3x, it should be 3 to the power x, which is equal to 0. So now try to have that at your own time. Let's say we have this case. Let's say we have x plus 4 and let's say times 10 to the power x divided by, let's say, 3x minus 3, and that which is equal to 2x and the times 10 to the power x. So try to have that one at your own time. And let's proceed further with the laws of indices, and that should be with equations that involves the exponents as well. Let's say we have 2 to the power x, and which is equal to 1 over 8. So how should you be able to have the value of x in this case? So there's no possible way you can have 2 to have the base other than itself, but we can do something with 1 over 8. So using the laws of indices, we'll have 2 to the power x, and which is equal to 8 to the power negative 1. So we'll have 2 to the power x, and which is equal to 2 to the power negative 3. So in this case, we'll have x is equal to negative 3. So keep that in mind. And let's say we have this case. How about we have, let's say 4 to the power x plus 1, and which is equal to, and 2 to the power, let's say, x minus 1. So how should you have all about this? So in this case, we can be able to express 4 to have the base of 2, and hence we'll have it as 2 to the power 2x, and plus 2, and which is equal to 2 to the power x minus 1. So you just have to equate the powers and solve for x. And also I'll reset this as well. How about, let's say, if we have, let's say, 3 to the power x, and over to the power 2 and the minus 6, and 3 to the power x, and let's say plus 9 is equal to 0. Now how should you be able to solve for x in this case? So now you can see that it is possessing the quadratic equation, and here we have the highest power given as 2, and this is given as 1. So just have to, let's say, let 3 to the power x, and being given, let's say, m, so which means we'll have m to the power 2 minus 6 times m plus 9, and which is equal to 0. So in this case, we'll be able to solve for m using the factor method. So have m squared minus 3m, and also minus 3m as well, plus 9, which is equal to 0. So have m minus 3, and I'll have minus 3, and m minus 3, that will be equal to 0. So have m minus 3, and times m minus 3, that will be given as 0. Hence we'll have the value of m that will be given as 3. And also have another value of m that will be given as 3. So in other words, this is actually a quadratic equation. It is said to be the perfect square. So keep that in mind. Then since we are looking for x not as m, then we'll have to come back to this, in the sense that we'll have it as a 3 to the power x is equal to 3. In this case, having just half 3 there, it means there is a silent power 1 here. So in this case, x is given as 1, and also x is also being given as 1, since we have the m with the same, actually, a value which is given as 3. It means we have two values of x that are given as 1, 1, they are the same. And the values of x are the same, given as 1 and also 1. So take note of that. And let's think about this one as well. Let's say we have 4 to the power x, and let's say minus 2 to the power x, and plus 8, and which is equal to 0. So now how should you be able to solve for x here? So let's think of expressing 4 to have the base of 2. So have it as 2 to the power 2x, and the minus 6, 2 to the power x, and the plus 8, which is equal to 0. Now in this case, we can also have to express this, that we have it as 2 to the power x, and the overall to the power 2 minus 6, the 2 to the power x, and the plus 8, which is equal to 0. Guess what is happening here? So I just need the response in the comment section below. If it is possible for you to go for that or not, but I understand you manage that one. You manage that one, I understand that. And what if we have, let's say, this case? And let's say we have 2 to the power 4 and the plus 2 to the power x, and that is equal to 17. So in this case, having 2 to the power 4, it is the same as 16. We have 16 and the plus 2 to the power x, and which is equal to 17. So in this case, we have 2 to the power x, which is equal to 17 minus 16. 2 to the power x, and is equal to 1. According to the laws of indices, having 1, in this case, it is the same as 2 to the power x is equal to 2 to the power 0. So in this case, x is given as 0. So keep that in mind. And how about, let's say, if we have this case? So now try to have this at your own time. Let's say you have 3 to the power x and minus 1, and also times, let's say 3 to the power x minus 2 is equal to 0. And let's say we have 2 to the power, let's say 2x minus 1, there should be plus. In the minus, let's say we have, should be 129, and that times 2 to the power x, and that plus 64, and that which is equal to 0. And let's say you have 1 over 8 and the plus 2 to the power x minus 1, and that which is equal to 2 to the power, let's say, negative x. So now try to go through for actually those problems and appreciate how best you can go over that. Let's say we have this one as well, 3 to the power x plus 1, and which is equal to 4 to the power, let's say, x, and that should be minus 1. So thank you as you are going over this.